Today we're going to go over how to write numbers in expanded form. Then you'll have a chance to practice on your own. Let's say you're asked to write 423,257 in expanded form. Well, what even is expanded form? You're used to seeing numbers in standard form. That's how they're usually written. That's why it's called standard. Expanded form is a way of writing numbers by breaking them into each place value. To write a number in expanded form, start with the largest place value. Here we have the 4, which is in the hundred thousands. We want to write out what the actual value of this 4 is. Well, this 4 represents 400,000, or a value of 400,000. Next, we move to the 2. This 2 is in the 10,000s place. It represents 2 10,000s, or a total value of 20,000 that we'll add on. Next is the 3 in the thousands place, and 3 thousands has a value of 3,000. You can keep moving. The 2 is in the hundreds place, so its value is equal to 2 hundreds. Next is the 5 in the tens place, which has a value of 5 tens, or equal to 50. And finally, the 7 represents 7 ones, so it has a value of just 7. This is one way to write a number in expanded form. But we could actually expand this number even further. We could take each piece, like 400,000, and expand it even more. We could say that 400,000 is equal to 4 groups of 100,000s. 20,000 is equal to 2 groups of 10,000s. 3,000 is equal to 3 groups of thousands. 200 is equal to 2 groups of hundreds. 50 is equal to 5 groups of 10. And finally, 7 is equal to 7 groups of 1. Now this would be the most expanded way of writing this number. Let's practice one of these together. Let's say you're asked to write 362,584 in expanded form. Well, right now the number's written in standard form. We'll use place value to turn it into expanded form. Let's start with the 3. What place value is it in? The 3 is in the hundred thousands. 300,000 has a value of what? It has a value of 300,000. Let's look at the 6. The 6 is in what place value? It's in the 10,000s, so it has a value of what? 6 10,000s equals 60,000. Now the 2. The 2 is in the thousands place, so what is its value? 2 thousands is equal to 2,000. The 5 is in what place value? The 5 is in the hundreds, so it has a value of 500. What place value is the 8 in? The 8 is in the tens. 8 tens has a value of what? 8 tens has a value of 80. And lastly, the 4 is in the ones place, so it has a value of just 4. Here's one way of expanded form. But now remember, we can expand a number even further. We can take 300,000 and write it as 3 groups of 100,000. How could we write 60,000? We could write it as 6 groups of 10,000. How could we write 2,000? We could write it as 2 groups of 1,000. How could we write 500? 500 is equal to 5 groups of hundreds. How could we write 80? 80 can be described as 8 groups of 10. And finally, 4 we could write as 4 groups of 1. So here's the other way to write this number in expanded form. Now it's time for you to get some practice on your own. Write the number 756,324 in expanded form. Well, we have the number 756,324. We'll break it up by place value. The 7 is in the hundred thousands, so it has a value of 700,000. The 5 is in the 10,000s. 5 10,000s is equal to 50,000. The 6 is in the thousands, so its value is 6,000. The 3 is in the hundreds, so its value is 300. The 2 is in the tens. 2 tens is equal to 20. And finally, the 4 is in the ones. 4 ones is equal to 4. Here's one way of writing it in expanded form. What is the way I can expand this number even further? Well, you have to break up each piece. 700,000 is 7 groups of 100,000. 50,000 is 5 groups of 10,000. 6,000 is 6 groups of 1,000. 300 is 3 groups of hundreds. 20 is 2 groups of 10. And 4 is 4 groups of 1. This is the other way of writing this number in expanded form. Now here's your last problem for today. Write the number 27,411 in expanded form. Well, we have the number 27,411, and we have to think about each place value. Now this is tricky. The 2 is not in the hundred thousands. The 2 is in the 10,000s. So it has a value of just 20,000. The 7 is in the thousands, so its value is 7,000. The 400s is equal to 400. The 110 has a value of 10. And finally, 1 is just equal to 1. This is how you can write the number in expanded form. Now expand it even further. How could I write this number? Well, 20,000 can be shown as 2 groups of 10,000. 7,000 can be shown as 7 groups of 1,000. 400 can be shown as 4 groups of 100. 10 is just 1 group of 10, and 1 is just 1 group of 1. This is the other way you can write this number in expanded form. So from today, remember, in expanded form, break numbers down into each place value, and then write down the value of each digit.